Hello! We hope you're enjoying your stay at Toshi's place.
To help you make the most of your time in Kamakura, we've prepared this sightseeing guide.
Today we'll introduce you to Yuigahama Beach.
Ah, Yuigahama.
Yeah, picture this. You walk onto this gorgeous beach, sun's out, warm sand, waves are just, gently rolling in, maybe some surfers catching waves further out. It just feels like the perfect spot to chill out, maybe take a swim, just soak it all in. Pure relaxation, right?
Absolutely. That's the vibe you get immediately.
What if I told you that same sand, right under your feet, holds stories? I mean, incredible stories going back like 1,000 years. Stories of drama, big rituals, even battles.
That contrast is really what hits you about Yuigahama. You've got this immediate sensory thing, the beach day, bumping right up against these incredibly deep layers of history and memory. And sometimes they're literally buried just below the surface.
It completely flips the script on what you think a beach is, doesn't it? So today we're doing a deep dive into Yuigahama Beach, right here in Kamakura. We've looked into its story, and our plan is to sort of peel back those layers for you.
Yeah, explore its surprising past, point out what makes it special today, and give you a real sense of what you can actually do and experience there. Practical stuff, too.
Because it really is so much more than just a pretty place to get a tan.
Oh, definitely. Yuigahama isn't just scenery you look at. It's a place where the landscape itself seems to, echo the past. It connects ancient history and prayer and conflict directly to how people enjoy it today.
Okay, let's get into it. When you think of Kamakura, maybe the great Buddha pops into your head first, right?
Yeah.
Or those amazing temples tucked back in the hills.
Sure, those are iconic.
But this beach, Yuigahama, it was absolutely central to the city's whole story, especially back in the day, during the Kamakura shogunate period. And kind of amazing, its human story goes back even further than that.
That's what's so fascinating from the get-go. Archaeologists have found stuff showing people lived around here way back in the late Yayoi period. That's, long before Kamakura was a big political center.
Wow, okay.
And, maybe a bit more striking, they found evidence of mass graves right on these sands, dating from ancient times all the way through the medieval period.
Wait, mass graves? Actually on the beach? That's a really powerful image. It definitely challenges that sunny, modern picture.
It absolutely does. And then, when the Kamakura shogunate gets going in the late 12th century, Yuigahama wasn't just some forgotten historical spot. It became deeply tangled up with the shogunate's politics, its military strength, and its religious life.
Right, and this is where it gets really wild for me. The idea that this was a major training ground for samurai. Can you imagine? Right where families are playing today, samurai were practicing intense martial arts. We're talking yabusame, that incredible archery on horseback. Waigo sakake, which is archery but more close range, right? And even something called inwamono, which was chasing dogs on horseback.
Yes, exactly. It's such a stark contrast to the leisurely feel today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, picture that intensity happening right there.
Totally. And the paradox, as you mentioned, is that alongside all that warrior stuff, it was also this profoundly sacred space.
Right. Minamoto no Yoritomo, the guy who founded the whole shogunate, he actually performed important purification rituals here.
Sure.
Before he went on big pilgrimages like one called Nisho mode to Izusan and Hakone shrines.
Okay.
And it was also the traditional spot for the Fuji ceremony from Tsurugaoka Hachimangu Shrine. That's a ritual where they release cranes or other animals to honor their spirits. So you had this powerful mix and intense military practice and deep spiritual rituals all happening in the very same place.
That contrast is just mind-blowing because, okay, sacred rituals, military training, but it was also used as a place for executions and cremations, specifically for samurai. The materials mention something like 5,000 human remains being discovered. That gives you a real, maybe unsettling window into how people back then viewed life and death. Very different from us.
Absolutely. And this history isn't just locked away in museums or books. Apparently, human remains are still occasionally found today, when there's construction nearby, especially in the area closer to what used to be the actual shoreline called Mahama.
Wow. So it's like a constant physical reminder of those layers just beneath your feet.
Exactly. It's not just abstract history.
And it wasn't only about individual lives, right? Major political turning points actually happened right on this beach.
Oh, definitely. Like the Wada Rebellion. Wada Yoshimori, he was the first head of the samurai dokuro, basically the top military job in the shogunate, a super powerful figure.
Okay.
He was defeated and killed right here.
Wow.
by Hojo Yoshitoki, who was part of the rival Hojo clan that was taking over. There's still a memorial mound, the Watazuka, standing nearby today, a witness to that fight.
Incredible. And the beach even played a part in the end of the Kamakura shogunate itself, during the Genko War.
Yes, that's a famous story. Nideyoshi Sada, the general who ultimately brought down the shogunate, the legend, says he managed to get his troops around that really difficult cape in Imuragasaki.
Which you can see from the beach?
Precisely. You can look right at it. He supposedly broke through there, advanced onto Yuigahama Beach, and led his forces into Kamakura. That moment, right there on the sand, was totally pivotal in Japanese history.
So you could be just chilling on the beach, looking out at Imuragasaki, and realize that's where a huge historical moment unfolded. It definitely changes how you see the view.
It really does.
And then there's the story of Shizuka Gozen. That one's deeply human, almost tragic.
Yes. Such a poignant legend. Connected to Minamoto no Yoshitsune, who is Yoritomo's younger brother, but also his rival, the story goes that Yoritomo ordered Shizuka's newborn son, Yoshitsune's son, to be abandoned right here on Yuigahama Beach.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is, and they say her mother's grief was so profound, and that even Yoritomo's powerful wife, Hojo Masako, witnessed it and felt sympathy. It adds this layer of intense personal tragedy onto all the political drama.
And don't some versions of the story even suggest Shizuka herself might have ended her life here? It connects the beach to these really deep themes in Japanese classical literature.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of mono-ware, that sort of beautiful sadness about things being temporary, fading away.
Exactly. It's a world away from the modern beach vibe, isn't it?
Completely. It really highlights how dramatically the whole meaning and use of this place has shifted over centuries.
It really does. The beach starts to change from this intense historical stage to something much closer to what you see today, starting around the late 19th century.
Right, the Meiji era. So we shift from battlegrounds and sacred rites towards becoming a seaside resort. I read that in 1885, a place called Mahashi Roken opened up one of Japan's very first modern beach bathing facilities right here. People started coming for fun, for health.
Yeah, for leisure. And then the Yokosuka line train, opening in 1889, that was a game changer. Suddenly, Kamakura was super easy to get to from Tokyo. It became this popular retreat town.
And Yuigahama got this nickname right, the Ginza of the Sea.
That's the one. Because wealthy families started building these fancy villas along the coast, the whole feel of the area changed. It became quite chic.
Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The Great Kanto earthquake back in the early 20th century caused huge damage along the coast here.
Devastating, yeah. But the beach and Kamakura itself showed this incredible resilience. By the Showa era, it was bouncing back. You start seeing lively events like big fireworks festivals and carnivals, bringing crowds back.
And that sort of cemented its reputation as this vibrant place for fun and relaxation, paving the way for the beach culture we see today.
Absolutely. And that modern culture is a massive part of the Yuigahama experience now. You step onto the sand today, and it's buzzing with activity.
It really is. It's hugely popular for marine sports. You'll see everything: surfing, bodyboarding, windsurfing, stand-up paddleboarding, SUP.
Lots of SUP, yeah.
And they even have a designated softboard area, which sounds great if you're just starting out learning to surf safely. There are schools right there, too, if you fancy giving it a go.
And it's good to remember the beach isn't just for the main swimming season, which is usually July 1st to August 31st. Outside those months, it's still a beautiful spot for a walk, or maybe some daytime camping, even BBQs.
Oh, nice.
Just maybe keep an eye on your food. The local hawks and crows are pretty bold. They know where the snacks are.
They definitely keep you on your toes. And the view, especially later in the day, the sunset from Yuigahama is kind of famous. You watch the sun dip down behind that Inamuragasaki Cape, and it just casts this absolutely stunning, really romantic glow across the water. It's one of those moments where you can just stop and appreciate the natural beauty that's kind of timeless, despite all the history.
For sure. And there's some neat little points of interest right nearby, too, that connect back to the beach and the area's story.
Like in the Kamakura Seaside Park, the Yuigahama area part, you can see an old Inaden train car called Tenkoro.
Oh, yeah, the Tenkoro.
Yeah.
You can actually look inside, get a feel for those old school carriages.
Cool. And near the mouth of the Nameragawa River, apparently there's a little monument for a song, Sakuragai no Uta.
That's right, an old Showa-era song about the tiny pink shell fragments Sakuragai you find on the beach sometimes. It has this nice touch of local nostalgia.
Sweet.
And, depending on when you visit, like in spring or early summer, look out for flowers blooming right there on the dunes beach, morning glories and sea radishes. Adds a bit of natural color.
What's also really impressive about Yuigahama today, I think, is how committed they are to being a really high-quality beach and welcoming for everyone. In 2016, it did something pretty big.
Yeah.
It became the very first beach in Asia to get Blue Flag certification.
Wow. Okay, Blue Flag. That's a big deal, right? It's like
Right.
an international eco-label for beaches.
Exactly. It means the beach meets like 33 strict criteria, things about water quality, environmental management, safety, even education programs. It basically signals that this beach is managed to a really high global standard.
It's great to know.
And you can really see that commitment in the efforts they've made for accessibility. During the swimming season, they lay out this long boardwalk, 800 meters, with special mats. It makes it way easier for people using wheelchairs or pushing strollers to get right onto the sand.
That's fantastic.
They even have amphibious wheelchairs available on weekends and holidays in season, and staff there to help out.
And there are year-round things too, right? Like the Yuigahama Everyone Slope and barrier-free restrooms. It shows they're really thinking about making sure everyone can enjoy this beautiful spot.
Definitely. Of course, with popularity comes the need for a few rules, especially during that busy summer season. You'll see signs about things like no open flames, limits on alcohol, and rules about visible tattoos.
Standard stuff for busy public beaches, really.
Yeah.
It's just about keeping things safe and pleasant when lots of people are sharing the space.
Exactly. It sort of reflects that modern balancing act, managing the environment, respecting the history, and handling the practical side of welcoming thousands of visitors.
Well put.
So what does all this history and modern buzz mean for you listening right now, especially if you're staying nearby at Toshi's place? The great thing is, Yuigahama is literally just minutes away.
It really is. It puts this incredible multi-layered place right on your doorstep. You could, start your day with a peaceful walk on a beach where samurai once trained,
Yeah.
or end it watching that famous sunset, maybe thinking about all the different stories these sands have seen over the centuries.
So why should you visit? Well, it's not just about, ticking go to the beach off your Kamakura list. Yuigahama offers this really unique chance to experience the city's deep, fascinating character in a way that's both super accessible and actually quite profound.
It's where the energy of the sea really meets centuries of history and culture.
It's a chance for fun, for sure, but also maybe for a bit of quiet reflection on the sheer weight of the past that's right there.
It definitely invites you to pause and just consider the incredible journey this particular stretch of coast has been on.
So wrapping this up,
Yep.
just think about that transformation again. From an ancient burial ground, a Yayoi settlement, through that intense Kamakura shogunate period as a key spot for military drills, sacred rites, political showdowns, even executions,
Right.
all the way to becoming this modern, internationally recognized beach, loved by people just looking for sunshine and fun.
It's quite something to realize how that exact same patch of sand has been the stage for such wildly different things. Tragic legends, recovery from natural disasters, generations just relaxing, and these huge moments that actually changed Japanese history.
What does it even mean for one place to hold so many completely different, even contradictory memories all at once?
Yeah, and how does knowing all that maybe change the simple feeling of the sand between your toes the next time you find yourself walking along Yuigahama Beach? It's definitely something to think about.
What did you think?
We hope the rest of your stay at Tushi's place will be filled with wonderful memories.